Scott here with Chris, part of Hyperkin. Now you may be wondering, what's Hyperkin? Probably one of the most important things, and I think underutilized in gaming today, part of the Retrons. I had the Retron 3, I loved it, and that wasn't enough for you guys.
Not at all.
Retron 3, you didn't even go Retron 4, you decided to go right to 5.
Correct.
Now for those watching at home that aren't familiar with the Retron 5, could you explain what the Retron 5 is?
Sure. So Retron 5 is a 10-in-1 retro console. It plays Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Super NES, Famicom, Super Famicom, Genesis, Mega Drive, and Master System. So 10-in-1.
I can't wrap my head around that. It's, I mean, as a kid, that you got all the plugs, you got all the adapters going in, and all that extra junk. Even now, having all my old systems and having all the old games, I don't want to hook all that stuff up.
Sure. So we solved that issue with HDMI. Of course, as you know, like having that many systems and that many AV cables and RF units can be a hassle. So we want to simplify it with one HDMI cord and a power adapter. So.
And I know some people have been asking, how are you able to put these out there? How are you able to do that legally?
Sure.
Since it's, you know, you're having all the old system technology.
Sure.
But you have a way around that.
Yeah. You know, we call it a $1 million question, because that's the source of our income, and that's because all the patents have expired on existing hardware. So, you know, from Super Nintendo, from Genesis, software licenses are still around, but the hardware itself has expired, so we're allowed to do that. Hence why we require cartridges to be plugged in at all times, because those licenses are still available. Like, you know, you still see Zelda's being made, still Mario's being made, so we can't touch those at all.
And the great thing is, too, that I really enjoy about your guys' system is that you allow, you bring new controllers in. You design new controllers, and I hear the 5, as you were telling me just before we started this, the 5 is way better than the 3.
Most definitely, because as you know, our 3 was wireless. However, I didn't like it because there was a distance that where after 3 feet you just kind of stopped working, which is for me a little too close to the console. So this time we went with Bluetooth 4.0. So, you know, no lag. You know, with Bluetooth 4.0 you can transfer a huge amount of bandwidth back and forth, so no latency, no lag, or button lag whatsoever. With Bluetooth, you know, because of its power-saving energies, you know, you're talking about an 8-hour battery span. So it lasts all time, and it's rechargeable. So.
And then on top of that, you have ports that we can put in our old controllers, our old controllers that have all the grime on it and that are comfortable to our hands to play the right games. And then what's even crazy on top of that is you can play those controllers on the other system's games.
Correct. So we have complete button remapping across everything. So if, like for me, I never grew up with the Genesis, I only grew up with Nintendo. So for me, I'm very comfortable with Super Nintendo controller. So I can now use my Nintendo controller across Genesis' great library, you know, for whatever they want. Or I can use it on Game Boy or Famicom or whatever it may be. This is the controller I'm comfortable with. So.
Amazing. So you made Retron 5. Yeah. What's next? Because clearly you're not a guy that just settles for that.
No.
So what's next for you guys?
We are working on some other stuff, like we are working, ironically, on virtual reality stuff.
Really?
Yes, we are. We actually get some word from the founder of Oculus, Palmer Luckey. He actually has already given us some input and some help how to develop some peripherals that we're doing for him. And at the same time, we are of course working on the inevitable N64 stuff. So that's coming. Yeah, I know it's more for the audience, but everything else, we do have like 3 more consoles that we haven't yet announced, but we will announce them soon. So.
Right. And it's truly amazing. I love the Retron so much. I love the Retron 5. I haven't gotten it yet. It came out June 6th.
That is correct. That was the official street date. It may have gotten out a little earlier because when we shipped it out, you know, some retailers, I know people were eager and just kind of bought it without letting us know. So that happened, and you know, for the most part, pre-orders have been fulfilled, and you know, we're just trying to keep up with demand, which is a good problem.
Right.
Yeah. So.
I got to get mine, but where can everybody else get theirs?
So as of right now, you know, we cater mostly to the local mom and pop shops, just because that's where you find cartridges. So we want to help build the retro community also. So your local game shop should have them, or if not, if you want a more bigger chain, like we are in Play and Trade. We are of course on Amazon, ThinkGeek, Newegg. Those are some of the outlets, and right now we're also hopefully putting it into price.
That's amazing. I can't speak highly of it enough. I love the Retron, and you'd be crazy not to get one. You guys cater to our childhood.
Yes, of course.
And you make it easier and better and a much nicer display, so that way when ladies come over, they don't go, what is all of this? Just one nice, neat system.
Oh, you can imagine me. We had to get a full collection to do testing for every cartridge. So I got a chance to play games that I never got to own as a kid, so it was pure heaven.
That's awesome. Chris, thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you so much.